happened in October of 2023. I was a junior at NC State in Raleigh, and a guy from one of my classes invited me to a Halloween party. He said it was at a friend's farmhouse, about 30 minutes outside of town. I didn't know the host, but my classmate said it was an open invite and that there would be at least 50 people there. I figured it would be a good time. I had no reason to think otherwise. I drove out there around 9 on a Saturday night. The directions took me off the highway onto a 2-lane county road, and then onto a narrower road with no center line. Just gravel shoulders and trees on both sides. The kind of road that doesn't show up well on GPS. After about 20 minutes of driving through nothing but farmland and forest, I saw cars parked along the road near a long dirt driveway. That was the place. The house was a big old farmhouse, white paint peeling off the sides, sitting on a large property surrounded by fields and dark tree lines. There was a bonfire in the back, maybe 40 or 50 people. Music, drinks, costumes. It was exactly what you'd expect from a college Halloween party. I found my classmate, grabbed a drink, and spent the next few hours talking to people and having a good time. Around midnight, things started winding down. People were leaving in groups. Ubers don't come out that far, so most people had driven. By 1 in the morning, the crowd had thinned to maybe 15 people. That's when I noticed him. There was a guy standing near the edge of the bonfire, on the side closest to the tree line. I hadn't seen him before. He wasn't wearing a costume, just a dark jacket and jeans. He wasn't holding a drink. He wasn't talking to anyone. He was just standing there, facing the fire, but not looking at it. He was looking across the fire, at the group, at us.
I didn't think much of it at first. People get quiet at parties. Some people are introverted. But over the next 30 minutes, every time I glanced in his direction, he was looking at me. Not at the group. At me, specifically. And his expression never changed. It wasn't hostile. It wasn't friendly. It was blank. Like he was studying something. I walked over to my classmate and asked, "Who's the guy by the tree line?" He looked over and shrugged. He said, "No idea. Probably someone's friend." I asked the host. Same answer. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody had invited him. Nobody had spoken to him. I decided I was done. I said my goodbyes, grabbed my keys, and walked to my car. It was parked about 200 feet down the road from the driveway. The road was dark. No streetlights. Just moonlight through the trees. As I walked, I had this feeling. Not a sound, not a sight. Just a feeling. Like someone was watching me from behind. I got in the car, locked the doors, and pulled onto the road heading back toward Raleigh. The road was completely empty. No traffic, no lights, just my headlights cutting through the dark. About 3 minutes down the road, I checked my rearview mirror out of habit. There were headlights behind me. They were far back, maybe a quarter mile. I didn't think anything of it. Other people were leaving the party too. It was natural. I kept driving. 5 minutes. The headlights were still there. Same distance. I made a left turn at a junction. The headlights made the same left turn. I drove for another 5 minutes down a road I'd never been on before. And the headlights followed. Always the same distance. Never getting closer. Never falling behind.
I slowed down to 30. The headlights slowed down. I sped up to 60. The headlights sped up. They were matching my speed perfectly. That's when my chest started to tighten. I turned right onto a road that I was pretty sure would loop back to the highway. The headlights turned right. I grabbed my phone and called my classmate.
I told him someone was following me. He said, "How do you know? It's probably just someone else leaving." I said, "They've made every turn I've made for the last 15 minutes. He went quiet. He said, "Don't go home. Don't go to your apartment. Drive somewhere public." I said, "I'm in the middle of nowhere." He said, "Then drive to a gas station, a store, anything with lights and people." I kept driving. The road was dark and narrow, and I didn't know where the next town was. My GPS said 12 minutes to the nearest gas station. 12 minutes with those headlights in my mirror. Around minute 8, something changed. The headlights started getting closer, slowly. They went from a quarter mile to maybe 200 feet, then 100, then 50. I could see the vehicle now. It was a dark truck, an older model. No front license plate. The headlights were yellowish and dim, like halogens that hadn't been replaced in years. He pulled up right behind me, inches from my bumper. The high beams came on. My entire car flooded with light. I couldn't see anything in my mirrors except blinding white light. I pressed the gas. 65, 70. On a narrow 2-lane road in the dark. The truck kept pace. It pulled into the oncoming lane. It came up alongside me, matching my speed. Over 30 seconds, I saw the driver. It was the guy from the party. Living by the bonfire. Sun jacket. Some blank expression. He was looking at me through his passenger window. Not angry. Not smiling. Just looking. Look at something you've already decided about. I slammed the gas. My car jumped to 80. The truck fell behind. Ahead of me, I could see the glare of lights. The gas station.
I pulled into the parking lot, going way too fast, and skidded to a stop right in front of the door. I jumped out and ran inside. The clerk looked at me like I was insane. I told her someone was following me. I told her to call the police. She picked up the phone. I looked out the window. The truck was idling at the edge of the parking lot, just sitting there, engine running, headlights on. The police arrived in about 9 minutes. When the first patrol car pulled into the lot, the truck was gone. It had left maybe 2 minutes after I went inside. I gave the officers a description of the truck and the driver. They said they'd look into it. They asked me if I wanted them to follow me home. I said yes. I made it back to my apartment around 2:30 in the morning. I locked every door, checked every window. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, I called my classmate. I asked him to ask the host about the guy at the party. He called me back an hour later. He sounded different. He sounded uncomfortable. He said the host had asked around and nobody at the party knew the man by the bonfire. Nobody recognized him. Nobody invited him. But that's not the part that bothers me most. The part that bothers me is what the host said next. He said that when the party ended and everyone had left, he went out to the bonfire to put it out. And there, on the ground, right where the man had been standing, was a folded piece of paper. The host opened it. Inside was a list. 5 names written in pencil. My classmate's name was on it. The host's name was on it. My name was the first one on the list. The police were never able to identify the man or the truck. No matches. No leads. The case went cold within a week. I transferred to a different university the following semester. I never went back to that area. I never found out what the list was for. I don't think I want to. This story was about a stranger who appeared at a party that nobody invited, who followed someone home down a road with no lights.